Hello everybody, searching for a very strong and powerful build for the rogue, and melee build. Well, this one is for you. It's absolutely crazy. You're gonna be very durable. It's focused on getting big enemies down very fast, and of course bosses as well. You'll be dazing enemies. You're gonna heal. You're gonna use explosions for AoE. You're gonna have your bubble, which can be immune inside. You can move fast across the battlefield and reposition strategically. And it scales very well with attack speed, all across the board. So before I show you the entire build, let's take a look at some highlights. Here you can see the twisting blades rotating around me. This is the legendary perk. This is another legendary perk. It will give you immunity inside this bubble when I'm not healthy. The dash is of course for moving fast and also for strategic positioning in combat. Now the build is focused a lot of Daze, so basically making enemies won't be able to attack you just standing still. They can move, but they can actually attack you. So this build heavily take use of that. And this is basically like the ultimate damage reduction. So in this example, you can see that I'm focusing on the big enemies that deal most damage, and you can see that I'm dazing them. Basically, I'm disabling them. They can't actually attack. Right? You can see, so I'm just going, repositioning. That's why the dash is important. I can close gap on the big enemies fast and try to get rid of them fast. And because this build is optimized for really high single target damage, this works very well. Again, now this build is superb against bosses because you deal very high damage for single targets. And of course, with the bubble, they can protect you and give you immunity. It's insane. And don't forget with the sockets, gems that I have that allows me, and the perks allows me to also heal when I eliminate enemies. Now basically, again, against many enemies, you can actually daze them like forever if you like. Depends how much you want to right click on them, but basically make them, well, just stun like forever. Look at the luck, by the way. And you're very durable against bosses, as you should be, by the way, if you're melee. Now with the ability to dodge in Daze, and you have your bubble and healing, you can see why you are very durable with this build. Alright, let's take a look at the build. Again, keep in mind these things are not final. I can add more things and I'll do this as I play when I find new loot, but that's what I have right now. Again, it's also loot dependent. You get better if you have the right loot. By that I mean the right gear. Some of the things are sad, I know. I'll get them. This is actually a good one, the legendary perk where I attack with the basic. It increases the core damage by 7% up to 50%. Again, this is also a good perk which allows you to get further damage reduction. But again, keep in mind, if you have it, great. You can get even other things that might be better for the build, but that's what I have. We're gonna go quickly over. This is great for me, the legendary perk, because I really like the explosion. It allows me to get rid of the small enemies. This is important because I focus on single target damage here. So when I have an extra on my gear that allows me to kind of get rid of the small enemies. This is great, so I can quickly focus on the big enemies, because there are lots of small enemies that can deal lots of damage as well. This is the bubble. This is like a must. Actually, it's absolutely perfect. Some get it even with a higher duration. Basically, you get inside, you become immune, especially in boss fights. We can continue hitting the boss while being inside, and you get more potions, for example, if you need, but again, he's just immune. This is a really cool one. When you dash, a shadow clone spawn at your location, deals 25% of the base damage, rogue only. Really cool. And you see I have close enemies extra damage as well. This is another amazing one. Critical strikes with core squeeze increase your attack speed by 32% for 3 seconds. Absolutely amazing. This is the legendary perk that allows me again to have the twisting blades rotate around me. Again, all the things are giving me the extra that I need, so I can actually invest early on single target, and they actually fill in for getting rid of the small enemies, so I can focus on really high damage on single target enemies. Alright, we're quickly going to go over the skills. This is again the basic skill that I use. So I'm using the invigorating strike. Again, this is great for making enemies vulnerable and also increasing my energy regeneration. And I also go with this modify to enhance it even more. And when I actually spending the energy, I'm going to make enemies vulnerable, so I can quickly recover, and then they'll be vulnerable for my next attacks. Here I'm using twisting blades with enhanced and also improved twisting blades. And again, I want the Daze, right? You saw the Daze is absolutely insane. I also go with sturdy, and again I need the extra damage reduction and healing when you critically strike close enemies, because this is also optimized for critical hit chance and damage. I'm going to use it as well to heal. The dash we talked about, this is again for repositioning and of course just moving fast, which is fun of course, and especially when you're melee, you want to focus on certain enemies, it's very easy to do so with a dash. Again, this is for protection. Of course, there are nice modifiers as well to go with it. Again, because this is a melee build, I want to reduce the damage. This is, by the way, I should have put more, but again, when the game is released, we can level up more. I'm going to put more to further increase the damage to injured and healthy enemies. So this one I kind of felt bad that I didn't, but again, when the game is out, I will. Shadow imbuement. This is the explosion we talked about, so based on the shadow imbuement, and also when in precision imbuement, 50% increased critical strike chance. As I told you, I'm optimizing this for very high damage for single targets and also synergy with what we talked about earlier. And shadow clone, this is my ult, because again, it doubles the 60% of my damage, and of course everything just repeat what I do, which is insane, especially again against single targets as well. Yeah, so this is the build and it works absolutely amazing. It's super fun. Usually I went with the build somebody shared with me, which was a range build, and although it's great, when I played with melee and with the rogue, I told myself, wow, this is just crazily fun and crazy strong. So again, tasted, works amazingly well, melt bosses, great when fighting with lots of enemies. It's just super fun. And that's about it. I hope you found this one useful. Give it a try. And if you have questions, improvement suggestions, by all means, in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Consider maybe subscribing to my channel. More builds will follow. Thanks. Cheers.